A bunch of our colleagues in public life are joining together to say thanks to some brothers who really performed extraordinary service for this country. And I put a statement in the Congressional Record which says, I hope, what is in the hearts of people in the Royal Oak community, but also every American today, about serving this country. And I know I speak for Sandy, who's in the House, as I put this statement in the Congressional Record on the Senate side. I'm just going to read a part of it, but it does speak our thoughts and what's in our hearts this morning. The city of Royal Oak, in our home state of Michigan, will be hosting an annual Memorial Day parade on Monday, May 27th. And this year, 4 brothers from the Kerr family are all going to be grand marshals of this parade. They're all Vietnam vets. These 4 brothers voluntarily joined the U.S. military, went to Vietnam to bravely serve in our nation's armed services. These brothers have proudly carried the warrior American flag in the Royal Oak Parade in the past years to honor their tribe, the Chippewa tribe of Sault Ste. Marie, and to honor all of the American heroes who fought so fearlessly and valiantly in past conflicts to preserve our liberty and our democratic values. John Kerr.
John. All right, you have to identify yourself, because we met you, but we forget, we get confused by brothers.
There's only 2 of us. You guys how many brothers are there? 5, 6?
Well, there were 7 at one time. Our oldest brother, Father Bob Kerr, passed away last year.
So you have 6 brothers left?
6 of us
And
left.
how many sisters left?
1 sister.
1 sister.
1 sister passed away just in April from cancer.
The oldest sister's right there.
Where's the oldest sister?
Come on,
Why don't you come on, join us?
Come here.
Were these guys good to you when you were young? John Kerr, U.S. Marine Corps. Tom Kerr, U.S. Air Force. Harvey Kerr, U.S. Navy. Served in Vietnam simultaneously. Upon their return, a 4th brother, Michael Kerr, U.S. Army, voluntarily served in Vietnam and returned safely as well. Now, they reportedly owe their courage to their beloved mother, Rena, whose strength and conviction moved her to persevere beyond her personal challenges as a young widow and mother of 9 children. And she served the needs of fellow Americans in many ways. She was a devoted civil rights activist and committed herself to helping others. She taught her 7 sons and 2 daughters to highly value their priceless freedoms and the proud Chippewa heritage of their late father, Ted Kerr. With so great a legacy, 4 Kerr sons were impressed to respond courageously and patriotically to the wartime call, to choose to stand and valiantly serve their country in the Vietnam War. Tom Kerr, who bravely flew a state flag of Michigan in an F-4 on a combat mission over North Vietnam, was honored to present that flag after his return to Governor Milliken in 1968. The Kerr brothers have made it a tradition to annually salute America's fallen heroes of past conflicts and wars on the National Day of Observance. They proudly carry the flag to honor those who gave their ultimate sacrifice in service to our country and to join with their many families and friends to honor that memory. The Kerr brothers march as an expression of reverence for those who fought alongside them in Vietnam but did not return. And the Kerr brothers have called our attention to the importance of cherishing our freedoms and the importance of that freedom which has been preserved through the blood of heroes. The Kerr brothers can be proud of their dedication to their country and their great commitment to honor the values of their family and the principles of democracy and freedom. We as a nation have benefited from the sacrifices, extraordinary contributions, and example of these 4 brothers who bravely went off to war after having lost their father. I know that my Senate colleagues, and I know I speak for my brother Sandy, join me and the Royal Oak Parade Council and the officials of Royal Oak and Oakland County in paying tribute to the Kerr brothers for their service in our nation's armed forces and their great bravery and valor as Vietnam vets. And I just want to say one thing. I know there's a fifth brother here who tried to enlist. Where is he?
David, right here.
David, who tried to enlist later in the Vietnam War, and you had some kind of a medical issue which prevented you from enlisting. But you are a tribute. Your whole family is a tribute to this country, and we are extremely proud of you. And I tried to say it in here, but I know that the forge of family, that the family bonds are forged even more strongly when you have a common experience that you have all had. And all I can do is thank you on behalf of the state of Michigan. I know I speak for every American saying that you are just one glorious example of what this country is all about. Proud of your traditions, proud of your family, carrying that spirit to protect this nation and speaking for all of us when it comes to saying what freedom and democracy are all about. And so God bless you and thank you for your service to this.
Thank you very much.
Let me add, my memory, I may be wrong, but Carl, I think we first met the Kerr brothers at a parade here.
We did.
And I forget what year it was because we've been at this so many years, they do blur a bit. By the way, the weather's much better today than it has been some years.
This is our third year.
And so it was either last year or the year before that Carl and I met you on the corner of Main and 3rd, maybe.
3rd and Williams.
3rd and Williams.
Right.
And we were just so struck by the heroism of this family. I'm not sure the rules really, Kerr was chairman of Armed Services, he knows better than I, today would allow so many members of the same family to fight in the same combat. But your example is one for all of us to follow, and it's especially fitting that we join here on Memorial Day.
Welcome to the City of Royal Oak and the annual Memorial Day Parade honoring our veterans and those serving in the United States military today throughout the world, protecting our homeland. As you hear in the background, we've just had a flyover by 2 F-16 fighter jets from Selfridge Air National Guard, Mount Clemens, Michigan. And welcome to Royal Oak and a fantastic day for a parade here, the 2002 version of the annual Memorial Day Parade. My name is Andy Aubrey. I look forward to bringing the parade to you. And with that, I think we'll go right to the action. It's a lovely day. Gosh, I don't know how many I've had, but there's been several that we have not been this fortunate to have beautiful weather like this. In fact, the way things are shaping up, it's a good thing we're here early in the morning because they are predicting temperatures into the upper 70s, which is just fantastic. We will take it. Well, this Memorial Day takes on a special significance in the aftermath of the 9/11 occurrences. I think all Americans, I speak for all Americans when I say that maybe we'll take this Memorial Day a little more to heart, a little more appreciation for the men and women that are serving abroad to keep democracy safe and to keep us in the freedom that we so enjoy. I spoke with Senator Carl Levin earlier before we went on, and he and his brother Sander, a House of Representative member, Both gentlemen serving the community for over 20 years. Both feel a special sense of pride today as American servants to the citizenry, and just brings on a little extra significance, I believe, that we're Americans, we're free, and we should appreciate that. So we're looking forward to a great parade, and in the far distance, I hear some sirens, so it must be getting close, but maybe we can take a look at some of the sights and sounds for just a moment. There were a few of the sounds. Fighter jets going over, I don't think you ever get used to that. It always means a special event. Certainly a better turnout than we've grown to expect the last couple of years. Again, the weather having a lot to do with it, but it's great to see all people of Royal Oak out here enjoying the holiday. Good to see you. Leading off the parade is the Royal Oak Police Department. Royal Oak Police volunteers went to New York City on 9/11. Sergeant Walsh was one of them. He's here today. The others have this day off, but we salute them all. This is the Royal Oak Fire Department. Everyone wave to Sparky. Fire Chief Richard Streckley at the helm. Fire Truck T-967, Ground Zero, New York City, led by Ben Upton, Glenn Mahoney, Jeff Hogerman, fireman from Royal Oak Fire Department. Let's give them all a big wave. Here comes Sheriff Michael Bouchard from Oakland County. Sheriff Bouchard salutes all of our veterans today, here on Memorial Day. Sheriff Bouchard of the Oakland County motorcycle team. Men on two wheels. Trying not to hit each other. The sirens work. We know that for a fact. Now behind Sheriff Bouchard, we have the Oakland County Sheriff Dragoon tank. And folks, you do not want to wake up one morning and find that in your front lawn, pointing at your front door. I spoke with Sheriff Bouchard recently about that vehicle. He said that it's more of a deterrent, a visual deterrent. They hope you voluntarily turn yourself over to them when you see that. We have the 1949 fire truck from the Williams Sullivan & Sons, Michael Eckert driving, and a 1940 fire truck from the Troy Fire Department, Fire Chief William Nelson of the Troy Fire Department. Here we have a 1929 Model A Ford, Mr. and Mrs. Timothy Schaefer of Troy. Behind them is a 1930 Model A Ford, Mr. and Mrs. George Jones of Royal Oak. In the distance, we have the Kimmel High School Marching Band, Director Jim Connaughton. This is the Veterans of Foreign Wars, Acorn Post 1669, and Auxiliary Commander Mike Sherman. Auxiliary President, Dorothy Ross. And your 2002 Poppy Queen, Miss Linda Gore. There she is. Two Poppy Queens. We have two Poppy Queens. I'm sorry, I only have one name, Linda. Next up, 1972 Fleetwood Cadillac limo would be driven by Mr. Ed DeWitt of Royal Oak. Here we have Mr. Frank Wendland, American Legion, Post 253, and the Auxiliary of Royal Oak. This is a Vietnam War 1966 M151A1 utility truck, driven by Mr. Bruce Wallether. '21 Ford Model T Touring, Mr. and Mrs. Don Nichols of Royal Oak. These are the Celtic pipes and drums from White Lake, Michigan. Royal Canadian Legion, Maple Leaf Post number 84, Commander John Ferguson. The old Canadian Legion. You don't get to salute enough in everyday life. There needs to be more parades, I think. Royal Oak Citizen of the Year for the Royal Oak Women's Club. Winners this year, riding in a 72 Cadillac, Mrs. Lois Lance and Jim Ellison of Royal Oak. Next up, we have the Kerr family, this year's Grand Marshals. Chippewa Indians, Sault Ste. Marie, Vietnam veterans, 5 different U.S. servicemen. The Kerrs received a very nice invocation from Senator Levin before the parade for their service. POW, MIA, Committee of Michigan. Incidentally, the Prisoner of War Committee of Michigan supports 1,931 Americans still listed as POW MIA. That's 60, let's see here, 60 in Royal Oak, 1 in Berkeley, 1 in Clawson are among them. Ezra Parker and the Daughters of the American Revolution. 1827 was a very good year. Charles Lindbergh flew the Atlantic solo in the spirit of St. Louis. And the Ezra Parker Chapter, National Society Daughters of the American Revolution, was founded in Royal Oak, Michigan. For 75 years, the chapter has encouraged historic preservation, supported education through scholarships, and promoted patriotism. Ezra Parker, soldier of the American Revolution, for whom the chapter is named, is buried in the Royal Oak Cemetery. The Ezra Parker Chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution encourages all Americans to fly the flag. First Baptist Church of Royal Oak. Mr. John Kenziorski, Grand Marshal of the Royal Oak Memorial Society. Our man John, there he is. Love the hat. Michigan State Senator Shirley Johnson of Royal Oak. House of Representatives, 41st District, John Papa George. Shaking hands and kissing babies. There he is. Getting amongst the people, his constituents. State Representative David Woodward. Next up the parade route are two of our favorite people, the Levins. Senator Carl Levin and his brother Sander of the House of Representatives. And they are posing for pictures with a few of the parade watchers along the route here. Nothing quite like a picture of yourself with the Levin brothers hanging on your wall in the kitchen. Holding up the parade a bit, but you know what? When your last name is Levin, you can do that. Bob Goslin, Republican for State Senate.
There is a dog coming the size of a horse.
Well, with the Levins having passed us, we've got a short gap here in the parade, but as I look down the street, there's much more to come. This is the Oak Ridge Cub Scouts, back 1631. Fred Klein, your scoutmaster here in Royal Oak. No camping trips planned for this weekend. The boys are walking the parade. McGruff, the crime dog. Help take a bite out of crime. Gordon Bibby. Where is Gordon Bibby? He used to escort McGruff. He is not here this year. Is he here?
That's him inside.
That's him? Okay.
Usually. That's Ruth Cleveland.
Yes, we've just been helped by the parade route folks that Gordon is amongst us. He is here. There he is. Well.
As long as you don't bump the talent and touch anything. Okay?
There's a 1957 Thunderbird. Vince Litchfield of Chesterfield, Michigan, at the wheel. Now my parade lineup says 67 Pontiac Le Mans, but I know that's not what that is. That's a slightly older vintage vehicle. Beautiful car. They don't make them like that anymore. Royal Oak Fraternal Order of Eagles. This is the Knights of Columbus and Shrine of the Little Flower, Council 12408. Frank Roach of Royal Oak. Mr. Frank Roach there with the Shrine of the Little Flower. Again, Council 12408. Next up is 1955 Buick Special two-door hardtop. Tom Pisa of Royal Oak. All ready for the Dream Cruise. And that's a 1956 Porsche Spyder. Christian and Lisa Thiel of Royal Oak. This is the Believers Community Church of Royal Oak. St. Paul's Lutheran Sunday School of Royal Oak, Joan Pittman. And the Royal Oak Optimist Club and their children. Mr. Jack Salter in the white Cadillac. As proud as he could be here on this beautiful Memorial Day. Now we have this is the Oakland Inferno soccer team. Mr. Kaz Swastek of Royal Oak. The Ridgedale Players Kazoo Band. You have a kazoo, you can go anywhere. You can do anything. It's just happy music. The Royal Oak Elks Club and Wapiti Lodge, 1523. This is the Royal Oak Lions Club. Lions Club does so much for our community. They visit the sick and help out in so many different ways, and we thank them for their service to the community here on Memorial Day. This is the Royal Oak Association for Rights. Celebrating diversity under the rainbow. And honoring Alan Schindler and Barry Winchell. Fallen heroes of ours here in this 2002 Memorial Day Parade, among many others. The Helen Keller Middle School Marching Band under the direction of Dave Jensen. There's a girl out there in leather pants, and I'm thinking that's going to be a little warm in about 5 hours, but it's a good look for a band. I like that. The Helen Keller Middle School sounding great. Nancy Gordon's School of Baton from Grosse Pointe Farms. Jenny Gordon leading the way. Cub Scout, Pack 1607 from Northwood School, led by Brian Manadoc. Remember being a Cub Scout myself. There's nothing quite like it. Pinewood Derby and all the rest. Very little known fact, our director Greg Walter is a Pinewood Derby king with his son Enzo. Brownie Troop 3883, Mark Twain, and Junior Troop 1459, Sherry and Chris Leader. Pack 611 from Longfellow School. It's the Longfellow PTA Co-op Preschool. Liz Morton directing. Learning, laughter, and love. The 3 L's. Youngster enjoying the day. Looking very patriotic is the Jane Addams Middle School Marching Band. Home of the Hawks. Impressive band for a middle school. Sounding good. The crowd loves it. Sounding good, sounding real good. Cub Scouts, Pack 1627. Whittier Elementary, Trish Coates in charge. Royal Oak Cheerleaders and Football League. The Chargers and the Chiefs, that's right. When those two get on the field, there's no holds barred. And what is football without cheerleaders, I ask you? Nothing, I think. It's a long-standing rivalry. When those two get on the gridiron, all bets are off. A couple of ladies on the team this year. The Boys and Girls Clubs of South Oakland County. Miss Hannah Morris, directing. Mr. Andy Buck, the Youth of the Year for 2002. It's a proud day for him. We need to check out how you become the Youth of the Year. Not that I have a chance anymore, but it looks like it might have been a nice honor once upon a time. I'm sure he's a fine man, fine young lad. Next up are the Girl Scouts from Shrine Grade School, Troop 3235. Karen Hoth, the director. And Troop 1392 of the Brownies. Brownies from Whittier Elementary and Girl Scout Troop 3707. Troop 2748, Brownies, and Junior Troop 551.
Check this guy's picture. It says American Jazz.
A few more of our Brownies enjoying the day, waving their flags. Taking orders early for cookie sales for next year. Northwood, Troop 2588. A couple of them looks like they just came from Hawaii. Parker Elementary School. Heidi Eicher. They're walking with the folks. Waving and greeting the masses.
Company,
Rhythm in Motion. Dance studio of Royal Oak. Cub Scouts 1634 from Shrine of the Little Flower. And his famous calliope from Dearborn, Michigan. I'll tell you what, you put some kazoos with a calliope, and there's just happiness all around. Just warms my heart. Live music being performed by Vicky Banks. There she is. Look this way. Oh, she's playing beautifully.
Wave to the cameras, guys.
South Oakland Family YMCA float with Dan Keller driving. Of course, the Y supports so many great programs for our youths, and speaking with some of those who went camping earlier this year already with their scout troops, they were probably wishing for a day just like this, but haven't got it yet. So hopefully from here on in we'll have a beautiful summer. This is the Michigan Recycler Coalition Master Recycler Program. And the Propel Waterman has come into the picture with a cheap plug, but that thing's got to be hot. Oh boy. This USS Massive Battleship float, Carl Burdell. Beautiful, beautiful ship. St. Mary's Catholic School. St. Mary's School. Let's give them a hand for the float. Dondero High School 75th birthday cake and anniversary float. Dondero salutes our veterans.
Everybody else? You good? Here.
Greg Rassel, the superintendent of the DPS, and the DPS truck, DPW truck, bringing up the end of the float. And another six.
I have brought down to the cemetery.
And our director for the 2002 Memorial Day Parade is Pat Taylor. Well, another successful year here in Royal Oak, and this year more so than ever. A year when emotions are high. We're proud to be Americans, and we hope you enjoy this parade as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. We hope to see you all again next year here in Royal Oak and downtown on Memorial Day morning. So for all the fantastic crew at WROK Television, Greg Walter directing, and all of our hardworking volunteer staff, this has been Andy Aubrey saying so long and happy Memorial Day.